Today is Thursday, March 6th, 11:13 a.m. Hello, my name is Juan Dousdebes, and my goal today is to show you guys how sports brought people together during the COVID-19 pandemic. While the world is amid the COVID-19 pandemic, people feel more isolated than ever before. Sports continue to show how it brings people together. Back in 2019, we were spoiled in the sense that we could watch whatever sports we wanted, wherever we wanted, whether that be a bar, restaurant, and or the ballpark. COVID-19 caused closures not only with the ballparks and sports-related um, venues, but also schools as well. According to Michael Lowry from Forbes, he says we share some memorable moments on social media, including Vincent Kompany's game-winning goal, Tiger Woods' winning round at the Masters, and the nail-biting Netball World Cup finals. We predicted Liverpool would win the Premier League title in 2020 faster than any other club has done before. We are all dreaming of the upcoming summer sports. Coronavirus redefined people's lives, but sports brought millions of people together. So how could sports bring people together pre and post-COVID? My next few points will show not only how it would show the massive impact it had in the world's community by tackling the cultural barriers in society. Sports have a long history of serving as a global unifier. A quote from Michael Thomas from the Washington Daily News: "Gender, social class, politics, religion, and race are all thrown out the window as people come together under the banner of sports." The death of Kobe Bryant, unfortunately, he's a longtime basketball player who played 20 seasons for the LA Lakers. Following the fatal helicopter crash, celebrities and athletes and fans of many different teams came together, united to mourn the death of him and the people in the helicopter. Rock stars, soccer players, golfers, basketball players from other teams all mourned the death of Kobe as well, and I just want to show you a couple of photos just to illustrate what I mean. Over here you can see in a game shortly after Kobe Bryant's passing, the Philadelphia 76ers wore number 24 and number 8 to pay tribute to Kobe Bryant. Same thing for a basketball game between the Phoenix Suns and the Atlanta Thrashers. Many players wore number 8 and 24, and also in the beginning of the game, they had a 24 shot clock out of tribute to Kobe. The NFL during this past Super Bowl did kind of like a event for Kobe Bryant that paid tribute as well. That's Kobe Bryant. He was a big soccer fan. Unfortunately, he used to like AC Milan. This is many golfers paid tribute through customized shoes and apparel that they wore shortly thereafter. The New York Knicks and the New York Rangers both paid tribute to Kobe by lighting up the lights outside of Madison Square Garden with the gold and purple. Localized bubbles help sports by having a season while helping avoid the spread of the coronavirus. How did they achieve that? Players who opted to play were isolated from the outside world to help minimize the risk of contracting COVID-19. Sports continue to be a vehicle of tolerance to raise awareness and listening. How can sports achieve that? Sofer and Maiden wrote a piece at the World Economic Forum in August 12, 2021, titled "How the Power of Sports Can Bring Us Together and Drive Social Justice." They stated that renewed conversations about inequality and social justice issues are crucial now more than ever. This includes the economic empowerment and marginalized communities. While the pandemic continues, social inequality and justice is still happening. The NBA established a social justice coalition with coaches, a board of current players, and governors to promote civic engagement. Although the NBA and the players got backlash for their continued support of the Black Lives Matter movement, it created a form of unity not only between the league but also made more people aware of the current status of injustice and inequality. What does sportsmanship through model behavior mean to me? Well, show of hands. Does anyone know Marcus Rashford? Nobody? No worries. If you watch soccer, you know he's a talented 22-year-old striker that plays for Manchester United. Keep in mind that this is during COVID and a lockdown. Marcus Rashford aided in introducing a campaign to feed over 1.5 million vulnerable children. The campaign gained traction on social media, and companies and players from other sports teamed up to provide free lunches to the kids that depend on those free school lunches. Sam Carney, a Manchester United team writer, wrote an article on April 20th, 2020 that titled Rashford helps raise 20 million euros to help aid the cause. Marcus Rashford in that column explained how his involvement with Fair Share, a charity who distributes foods to kids who would otherwise go without free school meals due to the closing of schools during COVID, has led more donations in recent weeks. As millions of fans joined to help, Safar and Maiden said it best. It's a tale that demonstrates that people cannot always come together in the name of sports. People could always come together in the name of sports. Promoting diversity, tolerance, and helping building understanding towards communities that face cultural marginalizations, communities that come together to teach resilience to young people through sports. How can sports tackle cultural, social barriers internationally? Simple. The International Olympic Committee took strides towards messages of inclusion and tolerance. According to Anirban Chakraborty, wrote an article in sportsanddev.org in 2020 stating that the International Olympic Committee opened up Pride House, Tokyo, for the LGBTQ community. By doing so, it taught tolerance and acceptance for each other, no matter the race or sexual orientation. In conclusion, while the world is amid the COVID pandemic, sports continue to show how it unites people. Coronavirus redefined people's lives, but sports brought millions of people together. Sports continue being a vehicle of tolerance and raise awareness and listening. And finally, sports help tackle cultural barriers in society and ultimately brought all of us together in one way or the other. Thank you very much.